Over life and death was chief among my early pursuits. I began in humility, but my ambition was limitless. Who could have divined the prophetic import of something as unremarkable as a twitch in the leg of a dead rat? A devil walks these halls. Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
What is up, guys? It's your third favorite white boy, DSO3. Today, the teams of Jerry Hills, DSO3, Mike Hard, and Katie Hills will be going after the Apprentice Necromancer. But while you might be enjoying the little side story, I think I'd rather talk about a more important subject. GG, as he likes to refer to himself, or George Alexander Yearhead, the Gay, as I've heard other people say. Now this man is a lesson on pride. For anybody who doesn't know, he was a local public access TV show host, I guess the word would be. I believe he started in 1994 with stealing an original content as Saturday Night Live's Helsinki Boy and a few other choice things they shot in his grandmother's basement, or his father's basement, I should say, and attempted to believe his own hype. Now this is the lesson you should learn, kids. Nobody is the hype. Nobody is Vegeta. That's just the truth. His show would get occasionally peppered by prank calls and people generally begging him to just go offline, which he really should have done. But no. His pride was too great. There was a great man named Sean Brennan who dared to tell Gigi the truth in video format. This is what started off a long sense of preposterous, flagrant abuses of the court. Him basically as the goons would refer to as the lawsuit sagas. This man has attempted to sue trolls for the last 8 years, every year, right around Christmas, which shows you his priorities in life. He has lost every single one of them due to the great statute of fair use in the First Amendment. It's a great combination. Like if somebody was to chop my shit up, I personally would find it funny. But then again, I'm odd. But that's not the point. The point is, even though Gigi, being as malignant as he always is, because he is, tries to justify his behavior because that's his character. But he has said himself that his character is actually a reflection of himself, much like the old man Henry is a reflection of his janitor father, who he is lied about to this day. Actually, he comes from a long line of psychopaths. His grandfather was arrested for attempting to hypnotize a 14-year-old girl into getting married to him and running off. This is actually factual. It's in the papers, believe it or not. Mr. Will Markland and Sean Brennan and a number of great men, including Marty McFly, covered this fact. If you get the opportunity, you should check out The Year It Wars. Very important and truthful, ironically enough. But anyway, I digress. July 31st is very quickly approaching, which is bad news for Gigi because the house that he mortgaged twice and refused to make any payments on is finally going to be given the old boot. He is being evicted from his home. Just celebrated his 50th birthday party wearing a bathrobe, in public no less. I wish I was making this shit up, but sadly I'm not. This man who, for years, talked about people such just as Darkseid-filled with his detractors, more or less. People expressing freedom of opinion of that his show's horrible and he should stay off the TV, which thankfully was done this year due to Comcast refusing to allow him public access spot, or they did away with the channel. Whatever, he has a number of stories to cover it or not. This man, this morbidly obese man, who has lied to himself, is going to be kicking out of his house. And you're wondering why I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this up because of a girl. A girl named Jamie Whalen. Rest in peace, sweetie. A woman who was preyed upon by Gigi by using narcotics, even though he's a man who only drinks a Dos Equis, according to him. But he doesn't mind spending the money on the women. And you're wondering, wow, that's a pretty fucked up statement. No, this is true, sadly. I've done the research. Hell, back in the 90s he got engaged to a stripper who sold his engagement ring for crystal meth. Her name was Sue. He hired a private investigator to track her and harass her because she refused to acknowledge him. Now, the whole reason why I'm bringing up this fat lard is because of a very simple truth. Pride. Pride is a very dangerous thing, children's. It's very dangerous. It can make a reasonable man who, instead of getting a profitable job and paying his bills, would rather take trolls and YouTube to court, which he tried to. He tried to take YouTube to court for $1 million. Now, this was before the YouTube shooter and whatnot, but wouldn't put it past him, sadly. Pride. Be careful of your hubris. It can kill anybody. Anybody can fly too close to the sun. Even myself. I might enjoy playing a stupid character online. Usually the stuff I suggest you shouldn't be following. It's usually the opposite of what I think is probably the better thing to do. Then again, you could probably say that about me in real life too. I make horrible choices. Anyway, shout out to Marty McFly, Mike Saunders, Will Marklin, and all of those other very merry goons. And may everybody get exactly what they deserve in life, because trust me, nobody deserves anything less. Gigi, when you see this, fuck you, rapist.
A dizzying blow to body and brain. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. This expedition at least promises success. Executed with impunity. Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Another one falls. Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall. Begone, fiend! These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten. Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men. Soothed, sedated. Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship. Singular strike. Mortality clarified in a single strike. Surgical precision. baffling victory, but a victory nonetheless. The match is struck. A blazing star is born. The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving. Obliterated. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light? The light, the promise of safety. Towering, fierce, terrible, nightmare-made material. hope in this hell. No hope at all. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. Ringing ears, blurred vision. The end approaches. No living sinew to actuate them. Will these walking bones finally fail? Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Fun fact of the day, Buddha is very disappointed in Jonathan Hills. And I mean very disappointed. Almost as much as Katie after that pathetic attempt at sex.